The Apostle Paul once had to, let's look to the book of Galatians chapter 2. The liberty he lived was so powerful that all of the Christians of Jerusalem, listen to this, in the day of Pentecost, how many converted? 4,000 or 5,000? How many? 5,000. Look at what chapter 2 says in verse 4. And this occurred because of the false brethren secretly brought in, who came in by stealth to spy out our liberty which we have in Christ Jesus, that they might bring us to bondage. You know what Paul was saying here? Paul says, from Jerusalem, when they heard about this glorious liberty that I said that everything is lawful, the elders in Jerusalem immediately became upset. So then James, the brother of Jesus in the flesh, well, he has some bodyguards there who Paul called spies. So when they heard that Saul of Tarsus, the one that devastated the church, now was converted and preached the gospel, Paul was establishing churches. So then people were believing. But when James heard, he says, what does Paul preach? It's strange. He says that everything is lawful and that everything is not beneficial. It's all that he says. He says that the salvation is not in danger, but he doesn't let himself be dominated. It's a glorious liberty. He talks about that when Christ died and was risen, the commandments changed and the people were delivered a glorious liberty. So when James heard that, from Jerusalem came many of the apostles to visit Paul's services. So Timothy would say to Paul, listen, you see that one on the right corner? He's from circumcision. And what are they doing there? There are a few. They spread around. And what did they come for? Look at what they came to do. What did Paul call them? Brethren? He called them false what? He called them false what? False brethren. Were they brothers? And why does Paul call them false? Because they were in the law. They were in hypocrisy. They were serving God with commandments. They didn't understand Paul. They didn't understand the liberty. For an example, here in Miami, they think that this liberty we have, it's false. They say, no, in that church you can do whatever you want. Sure, well, Paul says that everything is lawful. In that church, the pastor doesn't prohibit. That's the easiest church in all of Miami. Man, there you go. Psst. There's no discipline. There are no commandments. There are no rules that you have to do this, that. There's no devil. The devil was destroyed. Sin was removed. They don't take the Holy Communion because they say that they swallowed the lamb. That why drink a juice if they have Christ dwelling in them? The juice is a symbol. And so James sent the apostles. The apostles would send brethren to go there to listen and see what Paul was preaching. And they said that they would send them. It says that false brethren secretly brought in, it says, they would hide, to spy on our liberty. The liberty in Christ Jesus. Is there liberty in Christ Jesus? To do what? To reduce us to bondage. What is bondage? To go back to rudiments, to what Moses said.